Dave, are you ready?
I think I'm ready this time. I wasn't sure before, but I'm ready to go.
All right, it's time. It is Wednesday night. It is 9:30. My name is Paul Spencer. That is the showstopper. My little brother, Dave Yarnell. And you already know it's prime time. It's 9:30. It's Cowboys Weekly. Dave, we usually start at 9:30, but it's 9:40. Are you trying to avoid me because we're talking draft here? Is that what the hell we're late for?
I wasn't avoiding anything. I just couldn't get into the. I tried to get in. I just wouldn't let me. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I think I sent you the invite. You waited till the last second. I just think you're like, Paul, I'm going to duck you because we're talking college football tonight a little bit. So.
Nah, you know what? I would not duck you like that. I'm going to give it a shot tonight. You're going to be surprised at what I have tonight, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Hey, listen, man, you know what? We always talking about, always next man up, right? Like, I'm going to put you in a situation tonight, Dave, because, I'm going way back, Dave. I'm going back to, God, I don't even know the year my man played, but as I told everybody last week, I'm going to bring out a jersey. I'm probably going to be the only guy in Cowboys history of all fans that spent money to go get this brand new Nike jersey. And Dave, you already know who I'm rocking, right?
I know you're rocking.
Let's just bring him out. The only Cowboy fan
Lord.
to have.
And no Cowboy Nation that is not Brandon Aubrey. He's rocking tonight.
And I'll prove
it's Quincy Carter. The only guy I know has a Quincy Carter jersey. I can't hear you. Are you muted? You're mute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Sorry. I can't. What, are you muting me tonight? Oh, my Lord. It's just me tonight, guys. What's up? It's the Cowboys showstopper to the house. How's everybody doing? Great to see you. Welcome to Cowboys Weekly with the showstopper himself. Yeah, we're talking Cowboys football tonight. We're talking all kinds of things going on tonight. Drafts in a few weeks. Talking about that. I'm still here.
All right. Can you hear me now?
There he is. I was wondering where you went.
You know what it was? Fucking Quincy Carter just fucking texted me and said, get my fucking jersey off. That's what it was. He just fucking threw a fucking wrench in my whole computer system, Dave.
Man, he just put the showstopper on the clock there. I was having a good time with all the Cowboy Nation there.
See, that's what you know what? I'm giving you a little payback. Oh, that was.
Is that what you're doing to me? Are you going to tear me up tonight? Yeah.
All right, Dave. Let's get this show started.
Like I can't hear you playing the game. I'll tell you, you're killing me.
Checking Eddie checking in. Says Paul, Dave, what's going on? Josh checking in. Thanks for checking. Alan Hearns. No, not. That's the one jersey I do not have. Alan Hearns, man. I do not have
Alan Hearns. Oh God.
You remember that horrific injury he had? Remember that ankle injury?
I do. Oh my gosh.
That was bad.
Alan Hearns. Oh.
Josh goes, Quincy Carter. And look, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not even joking. It is the Quincy Carter
Quincy Carter jersey.
Yes. Nightmare has returned. Yeah, exactly. I didn't mute myself, Eddie. No, I was playing a game with Dave there. I wanted to see Dave because
what's up, Eddie?
He was avoiding me because we're going to talk college football tonight. So,
I was not avoiding anything.
And you know what? We got somebody checking in that hasn't been checked in for a while. He's a Cowboy fan too. Dave, I know you remember this name. My guy, Shelton Lewis checking in. What's going on, Shelton?
What's up, Shelton?
Long time, man. Haven't heard you.
Been a while, man.
Hope the family, everybody's doing good, man. Hope the family's doing good. Well, Dave, you know what? Before we get started, man, we got to talk about one thing real quick. This show tonight is sponsored by what guy, Dave? What's his name?
His name is Jason Fine, Attorney Big Al.
That's right. If you need a good lawyer out there, make sure you reach out to Jason Fine, 1-800-HURT-123. Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims. He has you covered. 3 convenient locations, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. First Jersey, Cherry Hill, 3 Greensburg Lane, Pennsylvania. City of the bullshit Eagles. 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. And up here, Pittsburgh, PA, 500 Grant Street, 32900. No recovery, no fee. You mentioned out of the box, and it's going to be the family discount of 33 and a third percent. Once again, no recovery fee. Make sure you mention out of the box sports entertainment when you call that number. When Jason takes that case, no recovery, no fee, because you're part of the family here at Out of the Box. All right. Well, Dave, let's get this show on the road here now. Tonight, Dave, we've talked player personnel, we've talked coaches, we've talked needs, we've talked getting money on the salary cap. We've talked everything. We even talked about the disappointment 7 and 10 season, Dave. So we're done with all that. Now, Dave, we look forward to 2025. We move on. Dave, we're not even 4 weeks away from the draft, Dave.
I know, it's crazy. It's going too fast. It's flying. It's really going fast.
Okay. Well, Dave, I know you're not the biggest.
But Paul, before we get started here, I did hear some good news yesterday.
Oh, Lord, we extended Brandon Aubrey for 15 years, right?
No. The talks are really going hard on the Micah Parsons deal.
Oh, great, Dave. That's where our money's going because we're not spending shit, right? So
that's what I'm hearing. The talks are going well. Things they were talking. So the Micah Parsons deal is it's going to be here before we know it.
Well, Dave, that's the same thing we heard the last 2 years with the Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. And what happened the day before, a minute before the game starts? Here comes CeeDee Lamb. He is dressed. He is starting. We've seen that before, Dave. We've seen that before.
I know. All
right.
I have a feeling it's going to happen sooner or later.
You know what? We want to talk about one other team real quick. Eddie asked a question here. Did you see the Vikings are passing on Rodgers? How do you feel about that?
I did see that ad. I did.
What do you feel? What do you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? I think Aaron Rodgers is dictating where he wants to go.
He always does. He always does that.
That's what he does. I don't think he wants to go to Minnesota. I think that it's either between Pittsburgh and the Giants. That's what I'm looking at.
The better of those two teams to me would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, they got nice wide receivers now. They're solid defense as well. But the problem with Rodgers to me is when he left Green Bay, he dictated when he went to the Jets and who came to the Jets. Remember, bringing in Lazard, bringing all these players in. There were his guys. I don't like a player like that because I forgot who it was, Dave. I was listening to it on radio today when I was outside because it was 65 degrees today. Finally,
yeah. It was. Oh God, it was like 69 here. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I was outside I had my headphones in when I was actually cleaning my car, listening to the sports radio up here. And one of I think it was a D lineman from the Steelers said, we don't want him because he's a diva. Why let him dictate, who he wants to come to or something of that nature where, okay, if you're going to come to us, come to us. Don't fucking keep us in the loop here.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. Maybe I know Josh.
I think it was one of the offensive linemen, I think, or defensive linemen, one of those players said that.
I know Josh checks in. The sense of entitlement is absolutely ridiculous. I 100% agree. Josh, if you know what I'm talking about, there was a Pittsburgh Steeler today that said something rebutted against Rodgers coming here. Either you're coming or you're not. We don't want no bullshit. I heard it on the radio today. I'm not sure who. There you go. Thank you, Josh. Cam Hayward. Cam
Hayward. Yes, that's who it was. Yes.
And I was just like, I agree with them 100% because, man, listen, your quarterback is your leader. Your quarterback of the field, of course, we know that. He's your general. He sets the tone, on the field, in the locker room. Everybody follows the leader. And when this leader goes out there and says, well, I'm going to hold out and see what my best options are. I get holding out and be your best option. But, dude, don't fucking keep other teams in the loop, man. You know what I mean? I hate that, Dave. I really hate that.
Well, I did hear this morning that Minnesota is set on McCarthy. They do want to state he's going to be the starter as far as I can see. And if, like I said, if Aaron Rodgers can go anywhere, he's going to go where he could be a starter. And Giants and Pittsburgh would be definitely the two teams where he could definitely go and be a starter because they don't have any quarterbacks right now.
Yep. Eddie says, if I'm Rodgers, I don't want to go to a bat. No, I get that. I mean, to me, the worst situation. Well, you think about this. You think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. What is their downfall? Their offensive line. You go to the Giants. What is their downfall? Offensive line, running back. You have a good wide receiver. Your defense is stout. Your defense is stout. Okay. You go to Minnesota. You're plug and play there. You can plug and play. Your team went to the almost the NFC Championship. Had the best record in the NFL on our side, of course, North Conference. What am I saying? North Conference. Jesus Christ, Dave. National League, National League. But it's like, okay, where do you want to go? But I'm not letting a quarterback dictate because you're going into the draft, you're going into not training camp, you're going into combine, you're going into scouting reports, and you want to see, okay, well, if I'm this team, well, the Giants are picking here. okay, well, do I want to hold out for Rodgers and wait to see what the hell the diva says? Or do I say, you know what? I got to look at Shador. I got to look at Cam Ward. I got to look at my options, because if you give me an answer now, I can go into the draft combine and say, okay, we don't need Shador. We don't need Cam Ward. Okay, we need this weapon here. Rodgers, what do you think? How's this guy fit your scheme? To me, it's bullshit. It really is. It's bullshit.
I agree. But
100%.
like I said, if you're Rodgers, you go to Pittsburgh, you're throwing to two diva receivers, man. I mean,
it's like Eddie said, with the offensive line is horrible. I get that too, but I mean, that's
Pickens
the way he was.
And take your pick from Seattle. I mean,
In Metcalf, yeah. Metcalf,
right.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, before we get started, we got one more comment out there. This guy does a show on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night at 8:30. He'll be back in April, coming back with
this guy.
Yeah, yes. Everybody checks us out, Dave. You know
that, man. We chime in this show. So,
yeah. Steve Lofton checks in. What's up, fellas? Love your show. Are you ready to finish in the NFC East last in the NFC East? And New York doesn't even have a quarterback yet. Hey, Steve, I'm going to tell you right now.
Talking trash already, and the season hasn't even started yet.
Here's the thing. Okay. We are not going to finish last. I'm going to guarantee
your Commanders and go away.
Hey, well, damn, Dave, they're pretty fucking good. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying they're not good, but hey, Steve, I'm going to let you know now. Your quarterback, 2 words: sophomore slump. Sorry, see ya.
Dave, but listen, man, he's already have 6 years experience in college, and first year in NFL. Man, listen, I give the kid an A+. I think the Commanders are 1-2, of course, in our division. We're going to fight for that 3rd spot, and as long as we win 8 games, I'm happy.
Sophomore slump, baby. I'm telling you.
Hey, we'll see. We can only hope, Dave. We can only hope. Let's see. Eddie says, wouldn't be the best thing for Rodgers is to wait until there is an injury. Yeah, but you know what? You're not going to pay Aaron Rodgers equivalent of $40 million. I mean, unless you're a team like, well, let's say, Buffalo, if Josh Allen went down, you think Buffalo, they're a team in there. You might take a
Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to be a backup to anybody or anytime.
No, I'm saying if Josh Allen went down with like horrific season and injury, that would be the best, it's like a slot for him.
He's not going to wait that long.
No, he's not. I mean, anything can happen in OTAs, but if a guy sits out in OTAs waiting for the right opportunity, screw you, because you're just only in it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Guys, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get what he wants because what he does.
To me, just put him in a damn room and start meditating in a black room is all I can say.
I'm with you, but I'm just telling you.
Yep. And Josh says, and the fact the Steelers are actually playing his games is exactly is pure desperation. I understand 100%. Like,
I mean, think of it this way. And I was thinking about this morning or this afternoon, actually. Think of Mike Tomlin right now. You have Pickens, you have the great receiver from Seattle, and Aaron Rodgers. How would he deal with that?
Well, the thing is, Dave, with no offensive line, but here's the thing, Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record, Dave. People play for him.
He hasn't been to the playoffs. I mean, he hasn't been,
but still,
hasn't won a game in 2016.
Well, we talk about being a Cowboy fan. Do you think Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick and, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson can ever reunite and get on the same page of being a head coach and owner? No, I don't think Tomlinson and Rodgers could do that, because Tomlin's a no bullshit type of guy. Hey, Tomlins, come on over here, buddy. I want to talk to you for a second. I got 2 things to tell you. Next week, I'm going to go and meditate in my black room in Cancun. And then after that, I'm going to shoot down to this place, Puerto Rico, whatever the hell I want to go for a couple of days. Tomlin was like, no, get your ass back here in the film room. You better be the first guy in and the last guy out. Or, you know what? Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Right.
That's Tomlin.
I hear you what Tom was going to do, but I'm saying with 3 divas like that, it's going to be tough to coach.
And he says at least the Giants have a left tackle in neighbor. Who's their left tackle? That's Evan Neal.
I think so.
If it's Evan Neal, he's really Neighbors. Yes, I give you Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors
Didn't
is pretty.
The Giants just give somebody to the Eagles, or somebody from the Giants signed with the Eagles? Ojulari or something.
Defensive end, yeah. Because
Ojulari, right? Yeah, I think I'm sorry.
Healthy. Andrew Thomas. Thank you, Andrew Thomas. Okay,
Andrew
the other guy's Evan Neal on the other side. Okay, there we go. Gotcha. All right, Dave. Let's get into it, man. Listen, Cowboys this year, 2025, going into this draft here. Dave, we got so many needs here. Let's talk about our first round pick, Dave. If you're the GM and Dave Yarnell is on the clock here, he's in the war room, the dark Jerry Jones, $1 million press box room, the war room, and after Dave, the Niners on the clock, they pick their guy. Dave, first, where are you going to go with your first offensive pick sitting at number 12, Dave? And tell me why you're going after this guy.
It's funny. I think we need another receiver. I was thinking about this. We really need another receiver. I know we know offensive lineman, but I'm thinking receiver too, because CeeDee Lamb can't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have. I mean, I trust. I like our other two receivers. Flournoy's okay.
God,
but I'm just saying. I said he was okay. I didn't say he was great.
God, Dave,
and
damn,
our other receiver. But if I'm going anywhere, I'm going Ted McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona. I think that's the best bet.
My thing is, I don't think he falls, Dave. I do not think he falls.
I just do.
I honestly, Dave, I think there's 3 teams that could possibly take him. Number 1, it could be the Jaguars, the Jets, or the Panthers. That's where I think he goes. Yes, I agree with you 100%. If he falls, that is a no-brain situation. That is CeeDee Lamb falling in my pocket again. Number 1.
Pretty much. I mean, think about it.
He is incredible. I love picking him, Dave, but I definitely think he's going to fall. Dave, if he does fall, are you still going wide receiver?
I can't say that. No, I'm sticking with that. I'm going to stick with that pick.
Then are you going to go next best wide receiver then? Is that where you would go?
If Dave doesn't fall, you got to go offensive lineman, I would think.
Okay. I won't ask you your guy. I won't ask your guy because I don't want to mess up your draft. I don't want to throw you out there and say, Dave, okay, well, he's gone off the draft because if it was anybody else, Dave, you know me, I'll pull a trigger and say, well, Dave, this guy's gone. Okay, give me another guy. Oh, Dave, that guy's gone. Give me another guy. I'm not going to do that to you tonight, Dave. I'm not going to put you in that blender tonight. Okay.
So I think I had us confused here the way you told me to do this. I went top 12. I went top 12 draft 1 to 12. I wasn't thinking us personally, so I didn't.
Okay. Well, I want you. Okay, then I want you to tell me where you're going to go, and I'll try to fill you in where I think a player might fit. Okay.
That'll work. Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
So McMillan, I can agree, Dave. I do think that's a solid pick, but I don't think he's going to fall that far. I mean, this is, to me, it's like a Marvin Harrison Jr. out of last year's draft. A Jamar Chase, someone like that coming out of the draft. He is generational. The only downfall with him is he came from Arizona, not a big school, but to me, I think he's gone. I think he's a top 8 player, Dave, gone. As far as I see him dropping, I wrote it down here, is number 8. I see this the Panthers being the last team.
See, I had Shamir Stewart, an edge rusher from Texas A&M. Shermer.
You have Stewart? Okay, yep. Okay. I have him on board, but not where you.
I had him at 8.
Okay, not where I think he's a top 12 player. I have him top 75.
Okay.
In my eyes. Okay. We'll get some of the comments as we go here. McMillan, if he's there, yes. And Shelton says, I agree. Neighbors ain't CD. There ain't nobody like CD. Maybe a Jamar
Nobody's
Chase.
CD.
Justin Jefferson, they are, they're elite as well. But Eddie says, or trade down to 20 down. Eddie, hold on to that. I
don't want to trade down.
Well, hold on to that thought, Eddie, because I am going to throw Dave a couple curveballs at the end here. I'm going to do that. Take Burden or Golden. Now, that to me is wide receiver 2 or 3. I do have them ranked 2, 3, and 4. My other guy is, I'll get to him when I do my second round draft here. Shelton says running back or McMillan. McMillan falls. It's Christmas in April. Running back, Shelton, who are you going to go? You're going to go Jonte. You're going to go Omar Hampton. Are you going to go Melvin Gordon? Are you going to go? Who are you going to go? Because to me, there are some guys out there. I'll give you my guy. I love saying his name. I'll talk to him in the 3rd round, Dave. That's where I'll come back with that one. The Saints could use a wide receiver also. I do agree with that one too, but I don't think they're going to build that around the wide receiver. I think they're going to build around a offensive line too, because I think Spencer Rattler, it will be the starter, and I think they want to build around him. Let's see. Shelton says, no O-line, please at least get it. O-line is a must, but then again, Dave, we talked about it on the show where I said Connor Riley's coming over from Kansas State, who is an O-line guru. He's BB's coach for 4 years. He's coming back, and I'm hearing rumors. It all falls in place to me, Dave, because he's a guy that plays out of position. He can put you in positions to play. I think we keep Guyton over at left tackle, Tyler Smith at right left guard. Brock Hoffman signed a 1-year deal. He played. He's going to play center, and we're going to move BB back to right guard and hope Terrence Steele can actually live up to his $17 million a year contract.
Hopefully Terrence Steele's still on the roster by draft day.
You know what, Dave? Well, the problem is we waited too long that we kept him because he's.
That's money that we could definitely,
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense to me now, Dave, because it's $17 million that he's owed. If we release him, now we bite 10 millions of that. We only saved 7 million now. So to me, it's like,
True.
okay, why just pay him $7 million, let him play out the year, rather than lose 10 million. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
Yep. Sheldon says, Josh says, I want Jonte, but he won't. No, I agree. I
He
think
won't
Jonte
be there at 12.
No. Josh, where do you think he goes? I actually think he goes to the Raiders. That's where I think he goes.
I had him down 6 for the Raiders too.
I think he definitely goes to the Raiders. I think, since they do have a quarterback now, I do think, well, not a real quarterback, but I think they do go running back here. And Jonte is just nasty out of Boise State. So, yeah, I agree. Eddie says it's a reach. Who we talking about there, Eddie? Which guy? Oh, Stewart. Yeah, Stewart is a late. He's talking about your guy, Isaiah Stewart, Dave. I have
Isaiah
him
Stewart, yeah.
I have him on my list, but I have him on my spreadsheet. I did a couple of drafts with my buddies. I have him ranked 5th defensive end coming out of the draft, and I have him right around 75 for a reach as well.
Gotcha.
Shelton says, Jonte, okay, I can agree. If he falls, hey, I'm good with that.
I don't see Jonte falling at 12. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Josh says the Raiders as well. Okay.
I think the Raiders. I think that's definitely the Raiders pick right there.
Okay. All right. So you're going Terry McMillan from Arizona.
I think McMillan's. I think that's where we're going to go with that.
Dave, if we do that, I'm going to be on NFL.com with my American Express card, and I'm going to order his jersey right away. He's going to be the next jersey.
You're okay with that pick?
Oh, Dave, that's Christmas in April if that happens to
me. I'll take it.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's just CD and Micah Parsons just falling in my lap again, Dave. I'm cool with that.
Hey, CD fell in our lap too, so hey,
That's what I mean. I'm only hoping that can happen. Well, Dave, my first round pick, I know you've never heard of this guy. I think a lot of the top players are going to be gone, Dave. If we go edge rusher, Abdul Carter is going to be gone. Okay, these big guys, Mason Graham's going to be gone out of Michigan. I'm talking about these big boys, Dave, plug and play guys. The only guy that I can see, Dave, that's really going to suffice my needs is a guy from a low school, Dave. Yes, low school. I'm going Marshall Thundering Herd here, Dave. That's where I'm going to go.
Okay? Marshall. Okay, I know you're going there. Okay.
I'm going to go Ed Green. I watched this guy play like 4 or 5 games this year, and I've been going back and watching his film. This guy, Dave, he's a space eater on the edge. He has speed. And, Dave, the biggest thing is his arm reach is man size, Dave. Man size. I mean, his swim moves, his bull rush, his stunts, his twists, generational. The only downfall is playing in that conference with, Marshall Thundering Herd, Dave. That's the only thing. But, Dave, you go back and you look at Tyler Smith, okay?
I was going to say there's players out there that have played in bad conferences and still good players,
The other guy, Dave, I want to talk about is Donovan Mbukuriye. His name is, he's out of Boston College. He's another defensive end. Either one of those guys I'm good with. Donovan might be a little bit of reach. I have him rated 4th as a defensive end, behind a couple people. I have James Pierce Jr. up there as well, but I think he's fallen down in drafts because of the way he's been performing. I like him as well, but I don't think they take him. I think he's a late guy. But the other guy, Dave, if we do go offensive line, best available would probably be Kelvin Banks out of Ohio or out of Texas, offensive tackle. But that's not a need for me because you're going to bleed with Terrence Steele and you're going to bleed with Tyler Guyton. So you got to.
Here's my thing too. If we trade out of 12 and go back to 20, that means our next pick's not till 44. I mean.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, Dave. I mean, at 12, you have your players on your board that you consider, top-notch players. You do have them, Jonte, McMillan, Graham, of course, Abdul Carter, but he's like, a Hearts, logo around him. You're not going to get him, as a defense.
Remember, too, we don't have a 4th-round pick, so.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Eddie says Walker is a linebacker. Which who are you talking about?
Walker? Well, who?
Who mentioned Walker?
Nobody mentioned Walker.
Unless you're talking about Jahad Walker. I didn't say Jahad Walker. He's out of Alabama. No. He's Alabama. He's a stud from Alabama. He is like their stud guy. He's a top 10 pick for me, but to me, I'm not putting all my eggs in a basket and going linebacker Jahad Walker out of Alabama. Not doing it. Another late first rounder, the BC kid. I kind of disagree with that. Watching film on him, go back and watch his games over the last 6 games. The kid can play. And this is why, Eddie, I agree. Both he can play tackle and guard. I think he's a generational player from Texas. He was the man-child on that offensive line. That's why I like him. He says UGA. Okay, I'm talking about the guy from Alabama. Actually, I like him as well. But I don't know. I mean, I just like it. And actually, I'm a mistake. I actually called him Ed Green. His actually name is Mike Green from Marshall.
Oh, Mike Green.
Okay. His middle name is actually Eddie. So
actually, I know Mike Green. Pretty funny.
Well, then do your contacts. Get a hold of this guy and get him in here.
Wrong guy.
There you go. All right, so I mean, okay, I'm gonna go defensive end here, Dave, because the writing's on the wall. It's Lawrence is out of
So you're
here.
going defensive end at 12, as you're saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go either that or I'm gonna go best player available, Dave. I mean, I don't know.
Like I said, I see Tets jumping in on 12 if he's there.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind offensive line. Don't get me wrong. I really wouldn't. That's fine. But
you're right. Jahad Campbell's from Alabama. I keep getting him messed up. Walker is the line from Georgia. You're right. Thank you, Eddie.
See, Eddie's all over it.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to go defensive end, Dave, best player available. It might change because you never know how the draft's going to go, Dave.
You just don't.
Somebody's going to look good in the combine, and they're going to move up. Throw the old draft in a big mix here, Dave. But what would you do at 44, Dave? You
44. Went, I think it's tough because I mean, right now, personally, I don't want to get if we need a backup quarterback. I don't want him to the 5th round. That's just me. I think that's really. I think a little late is fine with me. Okay. Right now, I mean, it's tough because defensive got to go D line. I would think, right? I mean,
it's up to you. You're Jerry Jones on the clock, Dave. You got 15. Well, right now, 2nd round, you only got 5 minutes, Dave. So you better hurry the hell up.
I would go D line. I'll go D line.
Okay, D line, best player available, right?
Yep.
Okay. This is where Mike Green might pop in there because he's high on a lot of boards. He's low on a lot of boards, so he might hop up there. Would you take a stab at best player available here on the offensive line? Let's say if a Kelvin Banks fell to you this low.
Oh, Kelvin Banks, absolutely. I would.
Okay.
Why not?
Second round. So you're going to go defensive end. So you're kind of like flip with me. We actually are 100% flip, Dave. You're going to go.
You're going offensive line. I'm going defensive line. I get it.
No, I'm not going offensive line. I mean, first round you went wide receiver first, correct?
I did. I went. Yeah.
And I went defensive end, and then your second round you're going defensive end, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm gonna. Man, that's why we don't get along, Dave. We're like night and day here. We're totally flipped. I'm gonna go wide receiver here, and I'm gonna give you 3 people. 2 of them are. One of them is really a reach because he's more of the downfield speed guy. Okay, well, actually 2 of them. I do like Luther Burden. Okay, out of Missouri, I love his speed. I love his catch radius. A little bit smaller guy. I do like Matthew Golden out of Texas. Golden out of Texas as well. He is to me the Xavier Worthy of the draft. I like him there. To me, he might be a little bit of reach, Dave, but this is a position that you need because Tolbert and Flournoy, to me, are not the answer, Dave. You know what I mean?
Well, we know that, but
and if you get another wide receiver on the outside, you can put Turpin in the middle there, and you can run that with him in a slot because he's a mismatch there with the slants. So that's why I like that. The other guy I do like too, but he might be a reach in the second round to me, and I really don't want him. But the good thing if we draft this guy, I do have a connect to hopefully get him on the show because I have his mother's cell phone number. You know who that is, right?
How did you get that?
Well, Dave, funny story.
I'm sure it is.
During the college football season, I was up at the hotel at the town place when my house was being rebuilt. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, Paul, I know you're not a Penn State fan, but would you like to go to the Penn State game?" It's like, sure. Which game we going to? We're going to the Whiteout. Wow. What a game.
Is this the coffee story?
Yes. No, it's not the coffee story. It's not the coffee story.
Okay. Close enough.
It's pretty damn close. So I said, sure. So I got up that morning and I went out and bought a Penn State jersey. I don't like Penn State. I almost threw up in it. Out of respect, I'll wear it because I went with this person. It's a whole big breakfast every morning. Saturday morning, me, Dave, I love my hot sauce, man. You know me.
Oh, dude.
Whole bottle of hot sauce. I got some scrambled eggs, toast, couple pieces of sausage. I'm like, oh, I'm into this. I go up there. I'm pouring my Crystal Rose, picante hot sauce, everything on it. I go there, pick up my fork as I'm standing there, holding the fork like this, putting it in my eggs. This lady in front of me turns around, hits my elbow. My fucking eggs go everywhere. My hot sauce goes everywhere, all over my jersey. And all I see is an Ohio State jersey, number 2. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like this. But I'm a nice guy. I didn't say that. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I give you a couple of dollars to pay for your cleaning?" I'm like, "No, it's no problem. They have cleaning here anyway. They can do it." She turns around. It says Mbuki K's mother on the back of her jersey.
There you go.
So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And the funny thing is, she did send me an autograph poster, like an 8x10 of her son autograph. I don't know if she autographed it herself or what, but
She
she did
probably
send.
autographed it herself.
The thing is, you know what? I'll call her on it because she did give me her cell phone number, and I did actually talk to her one time. And I said, thank you so much for that, And the funny thing is, right where we were sitting, we were row 9, right down on the field, and the first touchdown was a Bukake's.
Of course.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me, I'm just sitting there like.
So you're like this number 2 kid?
I do, Dave, but I think he's a reach though. I mean, I do want to go wide receiver, Dave. This draft here doesn't really give me the wide receiver feel to me. This is where I might go, maybe best available on 44, Dave, because 44 is a plug and play player, but you got to consider where you're picking, Dave. I mean, to me, after 31, you're really looking at best player situational for your team. It can go a lot of different ways. So I'm going to go wide receiver here. I do like any of 3 of those. I think they are. For our team, Dave, on other teams, they might not be a 3 wide receiver. They might not be a 4. They might be, down the line. But these 3 players, Dave, are plug and play players for our team.
Well, that kid from Ohio State you said is very good. I remember watching him a couple times.
Well, I have him rated 4th best wide receiver in the nation this year. I have him 4, Dave.
Okay.
Sheldon says definitely not Tolbert. Florida got to steal a job for a wide. Exactly. See, that's what I mean. Like any other team, these wide receivers might be that 3-4 guy, but on our team, he is going to be the 2 fit because Flournoy and Tolbert. Dave,
Tolbert actually had a solid season last year.
That's right, Dave. He caught that one ball. That's right.
Well,
Dave.
He caught a few balls. He caught more than one, but he
Okay.
Right? Pittsburgh game. There you go.
See, Dave is that guy who remembers the one play and he wants. I remember the 17-game whole season and being on a milk carton for 16 games versus 1 game, Dave. That's what I remember.
Hey.
Okay? All right.
Hey, that one catch won the game.
Yeah, one of our 7 wins, Dave. Yes, one of our 7 wins. Thank you.
Hey, take what you get.
1 out of 17, Dave. You know what I mean?
Actually, I had one against Washington too. Come on now.
Oh, God, Dave, here we go. Dave. You and your 1 catch a year thing, Dave.
All right. Actually, round 3, we got pick 76.
Yes, we do. Where are you going to go, Dave? Where are you going to go?
Definitely. You know what?
Okay, you went wide receiver.
I went wide receiver. I went defensive line. I'm going to go off. Okay. I'm going to go. I guess offensive tackle.
Well, what side are you going to go to?
The weakest side we have.
Well, hell, we have 2 bad sides, Dave. We have Guyton, who plays out of position, and we have Terrence Steele, the revolving door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. True.
So you got to tell me we're going right.
I'll go left side.
Okay, if we do go left tackle, I go Donovan Jackson at Ohio State. I'll give you that name there.
It.
He might be the best player there. In round 3, I do have him a projected 3rd to 4th round guy. I think he's kind of fine there with me.
Couldn't hurt.
Big size, and Ohio State likes to run the ball, even though they're, wide receiver U now. But I do like how there was a couple plays where I remember, him coming out of there. But Eddie actually said that, but he is actually looking to convert to guard because of his size in the pros. I did see that as well.
Jackson is guard. Okay.
He is converting over to tackle, which kind of makes sense for us because we draft out of position. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I kind of like that because of his side. He does want to move to the outside because his strength is his footwork. He's not the best run motivator, I want to say run yardage mover, but he is a good on the feet guy that can protect that side. I wish he would move to left, but that's a night and day thing. I don't think he could do that. So we'll see. But here, Dave, I'm going to go running back here. I mean, I think Jonte's gone, of course, but I think to me, the guy that's dropping a lot is Omar Hampton out of North Carolina. I can't see him dropping to the 3rd round, but I kind of like another guy called Dylan Sampson, Dave. He's out of Tennessee University. He's an okay guy, big pounder. He was a committee back as well this year. But the name that I'm looking at, Dave, a lot of people have him as a reach. I love this kid because, man, his name is just what I love saying, Cam Skataboo.
Yeah, you've mentioned him many times during shows. Yes.
I like him, Dave.
Skataboo. Yep.
This guy, man, he's a one-man show. Playing out of Arizona State, the Sun Devils out there. This boy right here, Dave, there's an old school saying that I always tell my players when I coach up here. You know what? if you don't finish eating your lunch or your dinner at home, bring your lunchbox to the field.
Big lunchbox to work. Yep.
This guy, Dave, brings his shit, to work every week. And it's just amazing, Dave. I mean, Cam Scattaboo, this guy can put your team on your back.
At 76 I think it'd be a good pick, honestly.
Eddie, 100%. Cam, I agree with that.
Cam.
Yep. Cam shits on Tennessee run. No, I get that. Like, I'm just saying, if Cam's gone, he might be a better place for us. Samson, excuse me. God damn it. He might be okay from us from Tennessee, but I don't want to take a flyer on Judkins because he's a space guy. Henderson, maybe Trevon Henderson might be a good pick for us here, at Ohio State too. But there's another name, Ollie Gordon. I don't believe Ollie Gordon is that guy. I mean, coming out, he was the number one projected running back coming out of the draft in the beginning of the year. And then Ashton Jeanty just blew him away. And they really didn't hear about Ollie Gordon after that. So I'm probably going to stay. He has Ollie Gordon over Sampson. I think they're pretty much exactly the same. But Ollie Gordon, I think, came off that injury as well, where I think he missed 3 to 4 games late in the season, Eddie, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing him on the inactive list for a couple games. So, that's where I'm going to go. But, okay, so we got that, Dave. Where are you going to go at 171? Where are you
Actually, we have 149.
Oh, that's right. That's compares where you picked. That's right. I think it's 149.
We have 149, 171, and 174 in the 5th round.
Where would you go at 149, Dave, since you went wide receiver, defensive end, and then
I said 5th round, I would go quarterback. I think we need definitely a quarterback.
Well, we're only on the 4th round here. We're only on the 4th round, basically.
I think we're in the 4th. Sorry, we skipped the 4th, went to the 5th. That's what I was doing. My fault.
So where are we going to go with this one here?
Safety.
Safety?
Sure.
Why are we going safety?
Why not? Can't hurt.
I like your philosophy. Why are we going?
Can't hurt.
Why not? I love
injury.
To see
hey,
Dave, I tell you what, I'd love to be a GM and a head coach in the war room with you. And you're my guy. You're my recruiter. You're my
Can't
scout.
Hurt.
Hey, Dave, where are we going? What's the best available?
Safety.
We're going safety. Dave, why? Why not?
Why not?
Dave, that's when I pick up the water bottle and just throw it at you. You know what I mean? You got
to me all you want.
Oh my God!
I said I can't prepare 1 through 12. I told you. Your message confused me from what I thought I was doing.
That's fine. It's fine. I confuse everybody, Dave. You know that.
You're good at it.
Here's my thing, Dave. Now, this may we're on out of the box, of course. Sports entertainment.
Hey, out of the box, safety. Why?
Hey, why not? Well, I'm going to go out of the box here. You know my thing, Dave. I coach offense, and if you can't score, you can't win. Defense wins championships.
What do we need on offense that we don't already have?
Well, here's the thing, Dave.
Besides wide receiver.
Well, defense wins championships, right?
Okay. Right.
You know me. Offense scores points, right?
Right.
I have to score more than the defense gives up, right?
Wow, true.
Well, you know what? Okay, well, I already got my running back. I already got one of my running backs. Like if I got Cam Scattaboo, I already got either a Luther Burden and Bukake or, a Golden. I already got my wide receiver, number 2. Well, Dave, I got to score points. I do have a quarterback. I have an offensive line that can gel this year under Connor Riley, our new offensive line coach. I'm cool with that. My tight end's okay. Shoon's a blocker,
Ferguson's all right.
Your boy Ferguson, he's still going out with that Haley Candeberger girl, even though Carson.
Is he still seeing her?
Yeah, he's still seeing her. Carson Beck cheated on his Haley twin girl. They broke up, already. So who knows? Ferguson, don't just stay off of TikTok during the season. That's all I'm going to ask you to do.
Are Taylor and Kelsey still an item?
Yeah, but they're not like the TikTok specialists like Haley Canterberger or whatever the hell the one.
You're all over TikTok. I'm not. So okay.
Well, look, she's cute, man. She's a beautiful girl.
Do what you got to do. I get it.
Hey, listen, she's eye candy. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Ferguson.
I don't know. You tell me.
But here's the thing. I'm going to go out of the box here, Dave, because my philosophy, I like to score. Okay.
You said offense. I'm waiting for this.
I got Dak Prescott, as my quarterback. I got my running back, Cam Scattaboo, whoever I want to get, Trevon Henderson. Who else you want to give me? I don't care. Omar Hampton, if he falls, I'm cool with that. I already drafted a wide receiver. The Dallas Cowboys.
We have 2 solid running backs. So I don't know where you're going with that, but go ahead.
I'm not going running back. I'm going another wide receiver here.
Another one?
Yes, I am.
Who?
I want slot guys on both sides because if I go out and get a Burden, who's the biggest guy out there on my team, well, not, of course, CeeDee Lamb. I got 2 outside guys, CeeDee Lamb, and I got either Burden or, give me Golden. He's not as big. He's a high flyer as well. I'm going to go another slot guy to expel Turpin. Okay, here's my guy. I got two guys, and Eddie actually named one of them right here. But I don't think he's going to be this low. I do have him out of my box selection. I have him in the 6th round, Eddie. You know who I'm talking about. He is a wide receiver out of Miami, Xavier Respro. Okay. He is what was the guy's name? Damn, from New England, Dave. What was that little Edelman? And what was the Edelman? And what was the other guy? God, what was his name? The little wide receiver that New England had. Julian Edelman and the other guy.
Edelman and the other guy. I can't think of the other guy's name.
God, I forget. Drawing a
blank. I don't know.
Thank you, Wes Walker. Thank you.
Wes Walker. Yeah.
Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, I have Resprio, but I do have him as another wide receiver in the 6th round. I do think if he falls, I don't want to take him because of his size. But the guy that I'm looking at is out of Oregon, Tez Johnson. I love this kid's speed. Blazing 4.4 speed. Insane guy. He's got LeJohntay Webster. I don't have him on my board, actually. I do not have him on my board here.
Webster.
I do not have him. Okay. That's fine. I'll look him up as well.
I think a wide receiver's coming our way, and that's free agency wise, but I'll talk about that later.
And I do have him. There's 4 wide receivers I named here. 3 of them are, Eddie, I do know he's 154 pounds, but Turpin's 125.
I was going to say, what's Turpin?
But you know what? Hey, in a slot, man, if you can put Turpin out there, in a slot, because you are going to put CD in motion, you're going to put Turpin in motion, and you want a slot guy for the backside of that field where you can come across like on a picket fence, going this way and going reverse action back to the right side, left side. That's why I say Tez Johnson, because Tez Johnson is a nightmare, man. He's a mover. He's a motion guy. I kind of like him. I know the size, Eddie, but to me, man, I think he could be a generational player in the right situation, because in this conference, this entire conference, Dave, this defense of all 3 teams, all 4 teams, I want to say, are no joke. You know what I mean?
No,
you got to have the weapons to go scheme versus scheme and be the better scheme with more wide receivers versus DBs.
Eagles lost a lot of guys in defense.
Yeah, but they got so many damn draft picks, Dave. They can plug and play.
They do. This is true.
Yep.
They do.
Now, Dave, I know you're not going to know about this guy. We do have a question from Sheldon. Sheldon says, do you want the safety? How about Shiloh Sanders? Now, he is Deion Sanders.
Thought of him. Yes.
Okay, Dave. He's making fun of you here, Dave. He's making fun of you.
I know he is.
Shiloh Sanders should not even be drafted this year.
Why not?
He sucks.
Okay.
He is that bad to me. Eddie agrees. Shiloh is bad.
I am not, like I said,
terrible. Yes. Mm-hmm.
College guy, I'm not. That's what
I said. Yeah, Shiloh, to me, he's just a name guy who plays. He's a starter, but Dave, when he gets picked on, it is just so bad.
Sad.
It's. I think the gene actually went from Deion maybe to Shador, but it did not go to Shiloh.
Gotcha.
And Sheldon, 100%. I agree with this 100%. He will be drafted on name alone. He will get it. He is the Bronny James of the NFL this year. He will get drafted based on that last name of Sanders.
Somebody will take him.
Hoping maybe he's a project. But hey, listen, man. When you got 3-4 years in college at Jackson State all the way to Colorado, and you haven't proved what you are right now, and no. Exactly. Nebraska's game pass killed him. There was a play, Dave. I'll put it in the group chat where I forgot what. Maybe Eddie remember this game, or if Shelton, where he got burnt so bad. I thought that Shiloh Sanders broke his ankles. He got burnt so bad on an end cut route where he went inside and his ankle just like snapped, and it was just like, damn. And it was against like a third wide receiver as
Sheldon
well.
Sam. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I couldn't take him, Dave. So yeah, and Sheldon, Dave does not watch a lot of college football, So that's the reason why I said that. So don't worry about that. All right, Dave, where do you think a linebacker comes into play?
Got to come in eventually. You would think.
Okay, all right. Do you think? I'm not going to mention who I think should come back on a cheap deal. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. But
yeah, who
I do. I'll talk about it later. I don't want to talk about it right now because I want to go through this draft a little bit here with you. I do think one of the guys is a lunch pail guy. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because Notre Dame. I love Jack Kaiser. Jack Kaiser out of Notre Dame linebacker. Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie, man, see, Eddie's thinking on the same boat as me here.
Kaiser. Hey, maybe Eddie should do it in the show instead of me.
No, but you know what, Eddie, you're 100%, man. This guy, I always say the word lunch pail. Bring your lunch pail to the field.
Eddie brings his lunch. He's ready to roll.
He's a 5th-year senior, man. He is the captain, And my thought, I thought he would have a little bit of downfall last year because JT Baran went to the Raiders last year, another strong linebacker, and they were chemistry, them two, inside, outside, Jack Kaiser, JT Baran. But Kaiser this year stepped up so big, Dave, led the team in tackles, captain. He is a guy that goes east, west, north, south. He can do it all. I love Jack Kaiser. I think he does fall because the only thing is his size. He's not the typical 6 foot linebacker. He's 5'11", which is only an inch away, Dave. But a lot of teams
not bad.
No, I agree 100%.
Under 6 foot. Yeah.
I have to say this. You know what? Hey, Michael, you're a fan of the show. I appreciate you checking. You're like a brother to me. He has to say, how about them Eagles? And you know what? Hey, you're the champions. I give you respect. How about them? I won't say it like that.
So, Mike, I know you're an Eagles fan. I understand that, but what's your take on them dropping all these players? What are we thinking of that?
Well,
I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, they lost a lot of guys. So I'm just saying.
Now, Eddie, I love Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Dave, remember I told you to look up that name. We talked about him many times.
Sawyer.
He is nasty, but I think he is probably going to be. Man, he could probably go in the first round to the right team. I don't think he gets out of that second, third round. But I would definitely take him. But the thing is, I don't want to put out my money for a linebacker when I need defensive end, wide receivers, running back as well. Because even though we got some committee running backers that still don't even lead up to a number one back like Jonte out there. So I got other places to go. But Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, hell yes. If he was dropped to that low, fourth round, screw the wide receiver. Give me Jack Sawyer. You know what I mean?
Jack Sawyer.
Yep. Sean says linebacker university, 100%. I agree with that one. And it's talking about my guy here, Kaiser, another lunch pail guy, 100%. Dallas had Nat Gwynn. Speaking of Nat Gwynn, Dave, next week, Dave, since
you have that jersey too.
I'm the only one with the Quincy Carter jersey out there in the entire Cowboy Nation.
You have a Nat Gwynn jersey.
Hold on, Dave. I'm getting to that point. I'm gonna make a little statement first. Anybody out there, if you're watching the show, we have 84 live viewers from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. I want you to screenshot this right here, send it to your friends, and I want anybody out there to tell me if they have a Quincy Carter jersey too. And I will admit I'm not the only other idiot out there, and I'm not lying, so you guys can see.
I was going to say some people might get it confused with Brandon Aubrey, but okay.
Well, this is the Quincy Carter. I've already showed you that.
We all know.
But next week, Dan, I called you Dan. Jesus Christ. Now you're getting me crazy here.
See?
Next week, you know what jersey I'm going to rock, Dave? It's on the screen, Dave. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
Eddie already said it. That win. I'm going to rock his 59 jersey next week.
Win.
I have his jersey as well.
Okay.
I have his jersey. But the only thing is, he's the only screen print jersey I have because they wouldn't let me order it on NFL.com back in the day. So.
If you're rocking your Dat win, I'll rock my Miles Sanders. I'm sorry. Not Miles Sanders. Yeah, Miles Sanders. Sorry,
no, Miles Austin.
Miles Austin.
I have that one too, Dave. I have that one too.
Miles Austin.
Yes. Yep. And here's your question.
I got Miles Sanders on my mind for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, because we just picked him up, Dave.
I know. And I was like, I'm liking the move.
He says, I'll just go through the comments. Eddie says, I'm sorry, Michael says the Eagles will be fine. He trusts
They will be fine. Oh, God.
The Eagles have 20 picks between 26 and 27. I agree, 100%. Who is the other edge rusher besides Micah? Well, that's why we got to draft one, Michael. That's why we're looking at the draft here. That's why I went, Mike Green from Marshall or Donovan Nzubukukie, can't even say his name, out of Boston College. I'm going there. You got to fill that spot because nowadays you need a big, solid defensive end.
Didn't we just pick up an edge rusher?
Yeah, but Dave, he's not. I mean, he's okay. But
I'm just saying he's an edge rusher.
I want that guy. The problem with Sam Williams is he's got to stay healthy, Shelton. He's got to stay healthy.
Sam Williams has to stay healthy. We just picked up things like Dante Fowler.
The funny thing is, I think we mentioned this the year he was drafted, Dave. If you go look at Micah Parsons, just this photo, like a mugshot of him, you look at Sam Williams, I think they're related because they are goddamn twins. The way they look, they are like twins. If you go out there, you look a mugshot, and you look at both these guys on the edges, they look like they're twins. But
I haven't really compared that, but okay.
But the play level was like from here to here. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. Michael says, "What about the possible?" No, you don't trade Micah Parsons. You cannot do that. That unless you're going to give me.
I mean, if you're going to do that, you better get the number one pick from Tennessee. If you're doing that.
Well, not even this year, Dave. I don't even want it this year. I'm thinking if you give, okay, you know what? If you're in the top five, a top five team, let's just say Tennessee, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jaguars. Okay, I'll even go Raiders. if one of those teams give me their first round pick, but you got to throw in a first round pick next year too.
Yeah, I would think so.
It's the
Or yeah,
only
that
way
would
I
make
do it.
only make, make sense.
Only way I do it. Only way I do that. No way. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I mean, last time we did that was the Herschel trade.
Who was the Cowboys' Jalen Carter? Well, Dave, I love saying this name too. Oh, Diggy Zua.
Oh, yep. Oh, Diggy.
And to me, I like O'Diggy. He's a space eater. He's not as big as, nobody's big as Jalen Carter out there. We know that, goddamn, this guy takes up 3 areas.
Guy's a monster.
But my thing is, I love O'Diggy Zua. The way he
I love Osa too. I'm a fan.
He got his contract. I'm cool with that. But now it's time to put what you do on the field and show me what you do on your paycheck versus your field. Now it's time.
Paid.
Yep. Eddie says multiple first rounder for 3. Listen, that would be the perfect opportunity, but you got to at least give me 2. You at least got to give me 2. You at least got to give me.
Yeah, definitely 2 for Micah. Absolutely.
Yep. And Sheldon says Osa, O'Diggy Zua. You already know.
Yeah, we love him.
I was kind of upset when we lost Gallimore, even though he went to the Giants.
I like Neville. I was a Neville guy.
He's with the Giants now. You believe that shit?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, I like him. Nevin Gallimore. I was always a fan of him. If we lost Hankins as well, our defense.
Yeah, Jonathan. I like Jonathan too. Good player.
It is what it is. I mean, you could build around your team. How could you give Jerry a boatload of because Michael wants to be an Eagle? I mean, that's the media saying that. Hell,
Micah doesn't want to be an Eagle.
That's just the media saying that. It's they're going to say certain stuff. That's why I don't watch media out there. Dave and I always talk about it. He'll tell me, "Did you see Skip say this?" I was like, "Dave, I could care less what the hell this idiot said."
Whatever.
I don't watch that stuff. I don't watch that stuff.
Because he's from Harrisburg, he wants to be an Eagle. Is that what you're telling me? Come on, man.
No. I mean, it's just like
he wants to be a Cowboy. He's a Cowboy for life. He said that's what he said, and I'll take his word for it. That's what he wants to do. Even his mother said he wants to be a Cowboy. Come on.
Here's the thing, as even like doing the show here, Dave. I keep it real. And if somebody asks me, like, "Hey, Paul, did the Eagles deserve the Super Bowl?" Yes, they did. That doesn't mean I want to become an Eagles fan. You know what I mean?
Eagles got a Super Bowl because they got a great running back. They had a great offensive line. Their defense was solid. In every sports of the way, that's why they won the Super Bowl.
Okay, well, here's the thing, Dave. They have a salary cap exact same amount we do, and we finished 7-10. You know what I mean? And they're holding the rope.
Yeah, well.
But my thing is like, just because I talk, positive about the Eagles on a show.
They didn't lose their quarterback. We did.
Well, then again, Dave, you got to stay healthy. You know what I mean? That's something.
The whole thing. That's the whole thing. If you're not healthy through 17 games in playoffs, and
Dave, I don't think if we were healthy this entire season, we would have competed. Honestly,
I think we would have. I think we would have been okay. I mean,
now Shelton has a question for Michael.
I mean, the running game was our weakest link, I think, because we really didn't have a steady running back until week 13.
No, our entire offense was the downfall.
Well, that too. But
okay. Now we do have a little debate in the comment room here. Since Michael came after us saying who's our Jalen Carter, their Jalen Carter to us. Well, Shelton asked a great question here to Michael. Now he says, "Well, Michael, who is your Micah Parsons then?"
I like that.
And then he says, "Stop being thirsty for our players." Talking about Micah Parsons. Okay.
Yes.
And he says Jalen Carter and at least 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Wow. Michael says, Micah grew up an Eagles fan, if I'm correct. No, he did. He came out of Harrisburg High School. He was an Eagles fan. He actually was an Eagles fan on a podcast.
Okay, maybe he was, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean,
but his favorite team was growing up as the Dallas Cowboys. He loved the star that he said on the podcast. But I don't care. Shit, you know what? I'll be honest with you. My first favorite team was the Dallas Cowboys. But hey, I'll be honest with you. Just like in basketball, a lot of people don't know this. But yeah, I'm a Sixer fan. But my favorite team growing up was the Boston Celtics. Yeah. You know what I mean? With the Boston Celtics because of Larry Bird, but everybody changes things. But to me, it's the media that overrides everything, and you listen to it too much. Then you start feeling like, damn, is the sky really red tonight? To me, I just don't. And there's your answer, Eddie.
Mike is calling Jerry Uncle Jerry. Seriously, come on.
Well, shit, I mean, a lot of people call me Uncle Paul. That don't mean shit to me. Michael, very honestly, he says.
I think Mike is happy being a Cowboy. He wants to get paid. He's going to get his bag. It's going to happen. Okay. I mean, I don't see it unless something crazy in the draft happens, which possibly could.
And Michael, there's your answer, Eddie, to Shelton. Actually, he's very honest. They don't have any. We have no Micah. I mean, they do have a nasty inside linebacker.
Well, you had a Micah. You kind of let him go.
Who?
What do you think?
Who'd they let go?
Went to Arizona.
Who?
What's Arizona?
I want to hear this out of your mouth.
Why do you want to hear that? I'm just saying. His name just gave me at this point.
You're talking about Josh
What's
Sweat,
Arizona?
maybe? Josh Sweat?
Josh Sweat, yes.
No, he is no Micah Parsons. You're not even putting him in that category.
Well, he was a big part of that defense, though.
Sheldon says Sweat, exactly, Josh Sweat, but he's not a Micah Parsons, man. Micah Parsons is a
I'm not saying he's Micah Parsons. I said he was, he was their big part of their defense.
Here's my thing regarding that. And this is just my opinion. Everybody, we do all opinions, of course. That's all what it's based out of. To me, Sweat, if you put him on the Dallas Cowboy line from what we had last year versus the Eagles D line, it's not even close. It's not even comparison. Micah Parsons gets double teamed every time, and Sweat has a complete line. Jalen Carter, my God. Oh, what's the other boy out there? God damn, what the other big boy? What's the other guy? Jalen Carter. What's the other guy?
The big dude from Georgia.
Yeah, they're all from fucking Georgia.
I was going to say the whole team's from Georgia.
The guy from Georgia, that guy, this guy, that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sweat is a very good linebacker. I mean, he can play multiple.
He's very good.
No Josh Sweat. There we go. Thank you. Jordan Davis. Thank you very much.
Jordan Davis. Yeah. Yes. Jordan Davis.
Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Yep, Jordan Davis. I don't know why.
Jordan Davis.
I'm trying to get them damn Eagles players out of my.
Guy gets winded after two plays, but it's fine.
That's the thing. I mean, he's a situational player where he only plays.
And they just picked up another injury-prone guy, Ojulari. Come on.
I mean, he's a good, solid depth guy. I mean, off the edge, he's a good guy. But
what's he getting? $4 million?
To me, Davis is just your 10 to 15, player a game.
I mean, he's a good player, but he gets hurt a lot from what I keep hearing.
Sure. Sweat would go to your Dallas Cowboys in cause of Mikey. The problem is we're not going to pay a guy. I mean, what was the Josh Sweat deal? How much was that? I don't have it in front of me.
I think it was $18 million, 4 years, something 18, like that.
Okay, well, you're going to pay Micah probably about $27 to $30 million contract.
I think it was 18, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't see it. I think we just build young because we're in no situation to win a conference this year, let alone a division. So we're on that 2 to 3 year window. Go out and pick your poison in your draft.
I don't know. It depends what running backs we get. I mean, if Miles Sanders plays like he did for the Eagles back in the day in the Eagles.
Oh, my God. You and Miles freaking
I'm just saying, if Miles Sanders plays like he did with the Eagles and what's called from Denver, coming off the injury and, play like he was, which I don't know.
I'm not going to disagree with you because last year you made me shut up for the first time in my life when you said Rico. Okay, so I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave you alone with that one. Okay, leave you alone with that. All right.
But I'm saying, I hear he's a good blocking guy. I mean, I hear good things about him. I mean, coming off the injury, if who knows? Anything's possible.
But Dave, I mean, you think about it. These other teams out there, they have a solid running back. Brian Robinson is a great running back. The Giants are a mediocre running back. The Eagles have, arguably probably the real MVP of the league.
I mean, if Miles Sanders is Miles Sanders from like 2020, for the Eagles that he was, I mean, it could be a different story. He didn't have the offensive line in Carolina that he's going to have here.
That's true, but to me, I mean, listen, I need a big situational back that's going to run between tackles. Sanders is more of that. He reminds me of a.
He's not a bad running back, Paul. He's really not.
He's not a running back. Just like it depends on health. I get that. Sanders can play with healthy. I get that. But to me, once again, we are going to be a 15 carry type team where they can rely on a lot of teams. Brian Robinson, even though what's his name, Eckler is not there. He hasn't been signed yet.
And Scott's like to run the ball. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but to me, it's going to be that word committee again. It's not going to be, Rico running 1,000 yards. It's going to be probably a 600 with Javonte Williams and also with Miles Sanders, if healthy. That's the thing.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be a 6-play offense with like it was McCarthy.
Yep. Michael says, Dave, do you think Miles Sanders is going to make a difference, though? If healthy,
I'm not saying he's going to. I said he could.
See, this is what I agree with right here. Dallas needs that in-between tackle.
Mike, if you get the Miles Sanders that we saw in the Eagles, could be a different story.
Okay, here's a great thing. I was going to bring this up. I'm going to go to Michael's comment.
I'm just saying. That's just
no. I know it's opinion. I agree. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, or I kind of agree with you, but I agree with Eddie because Dallas has never really had that pounder. We did many years. DeMarco Murray wasn't a pounder. He was a strong back, inside, outside guy. Okay, we know that. My last pounder was really your second string running back, Marion Barber. That was my pounder.
We did have Thunder and Lightning at one point.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I like to see because you bring in that speed guy. the first 5 carries here, second drive you come in, then you bring in that power guy. But we can have it opposite with a Jonte, with a Trayvon Henderson, with a Omar Hampton. I want the bigger back, Dave. Then you can bring in a Javonte Williams coming
That's
off
what
an
I'm saying.
ACL. Coming off an ACL, Dave. You know what I mean? Miles Sanders coming off of being cut by 2 teams, got cut, traded to 2 teams.
Well, yeah.
Being traded to 2 teams. I don't want that guy where I got committee. I want a solid bruiser back. I want the Jerome Bettis type guy. And then you have Ricky Waters coming in and running the lights off of everybody. That's what I want, Now, Sheldon says we currently build for a running back by committee. Exactly. That's 100%. We do have committee there because you go past number 2, then you're looking at Deuce Vaughn being really your number 3. So you really only have 2 backs there. Deuce Vaughn is a scat back, special teams at best right now. That's the only problem, Now, here's what I want to ask you, Dave. I'm not going to put his comment up yet. I'm going to ask you first. Okay. Why do you think Miles Sanders had a couple good years in Philadelphia? Why?
Could O-line.
Exactly what Michael says. You can put any running back behind the Eagles line, and this goes back 5, 6, 7 years, and they will be a 1,000-yard rusher, Dave.
Okay.
I do agree with that 100%. Honestly, I was joking around with my mailman. My mailman's a Cowboys fan, and I was talking to him. He's like, Paul, be honest with me. If you were running back with the Dallas Cowboys, how many yards would you have in a season? I was like, well, I get 1 carry.
Zeke, his rookie year, had a great offensive line.
I get that, Dave, but there was a different atmosphere with Zeke coming in from Ohio State. There was a different Zeke.
I get it.
What I mean? Different Zeke. And our O-line was a lot better than we have now, Dave.
Travis Frederick, we had Zach Martin. We had the guys. I mean, it was, now we don't have that anymore.
Deuce is actually on the practice squad still. Nobody picked him up. He's going to be a practice squad player. They can elevate him. Deuce
Vaughn.
Yep. Where's that? Eddie says, do not bring Zeke back. You do that. I swear to God,
they're not doing that.
They will not do that. Show.
No, Zeke's Cowboy days are definitely over.
Yeah, if we brought back Zeke, I don't care if it's $1 million deal, league minimum of $980,000. I will sit here next week and do a show whenever it is next week and just do this.
Never happened.
Entire show.
No, like I said, between Miles Sanders and Williams, I kind of like the 1-2 punch. I got to be honest.
Miles Sanders doesn't have the Eagles' offensive line right now. Exactly. I mean, that's true. But it's all about scheme. If you can protect your line.
He didn't have it in Carolina either, but come on.
Yeah, but he didn't have a great year. I mean, he's shared time though, Dave. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's been a committee guy.
I still don't think it's a bad pickup though. I don't.
Sheldon says we are his teammate sorely who has success by valuing running backs. I don't know where Jerry's smoking. They need to flush it. I agree. I mean, that's why I jumped the box here and I went running back 3rd round. Omar, whoever's best available. Omar Henderson. Even going if it's Cam Scatterboo's there. That's Christmas. That's Christmas in July or April for me.
Obviously, Genty's not going to fall to us, so we got to. Do what we got to do.
Eddie says, except for DeMarco Murray, he was an inside guy, outside guy, but he was more valuable than a lot of teams. But the only problem is 350 carries.
Jason Garrett ran DeMarco Murray into the ground.
That's the thing. He ran him to the ground 350, carries per year, on base almost 2 years.
He went to the Eagles. How did he do there? Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what I mean. They didn't ran him correctly. They wanted him not between the tackles. They wanted him run outside, if you remember all that.
You guys were all excited. We got DeMarco Murray. And
exactly, Eddie. The Cowboys used Murray the wrong. I mean, they just tore the treads off.
They destroyed him.
He had no traction on his tires when he left here. Do you think the Cowboys should draft the wide receiver? 100%. I have him going number in the 2nd round. Eddie, I do have him. I wrote down my list. Luther Burden and Bukake, Golden. I have those guys. Dave has a 1st round going wide receiver. I can't see.
I got McMillan. I think McMillan drops to us at 12. I just do.
Yeah, I mean, if he drops there, Dave, I'll be the first one to, I'll be calling you before that because we're going to do a live draft. If that happens, I'm going to be like a pig and shit. I love rice, even though I can't have rice right now because of my diet. But I will be like white on rice if that shit happens, bro. I would
be excited.
Question for you, Dave. Hey, Dave, why was Emmitt Smith so good?
Oh, come on. You're going to go there?
Oh, like 100% O-line, 100%.
That's not even a question, but okay. Emmitt Smith was good. He had a greater line.
100%. I agree with that one too. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from him. Emmitt Smith was one hell of an offensive
broke the record, didn't he?
Yeah, but you got to give a lot to that too, the O-line, Dave, because my thing is this, Dave. Man, if you put Barry Sanders behind this Dallas Cowboy offensive line, my man would have ran ropes around, miles and miles ahead of other players, Dave. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, real quick, last comment, real quick before we go
So I guess
to
Dorsett wasn't good either, right? Come
he was
on,
a scrub. He was a scrub. No, it's joking.
right?
O-line in the second year should be better. Eagles who won to take advantage of their line. We wasted on when we had the best line. I think our offensive line can be better. I love, when Dave and I did the show about some coaches coming in, I love Connor Riley from Kansas State. I think he's a guru. And we had his Cooper's BB's dad on the show. And, I watch a lot of college as well. And he said, in practice, they would make Cooper play tackle, line up here, line up at every position to know all 5 positions. And that was the greatest thing, all 5 plus yours basically. And it was a great system. Now I think he can work with Tyler Guyton on the left side. And I think he is going to move Cooper Beebe back to left guard and take Zach's spot over. It's big shoes to fill, but I think this guy could do it, Dave. So I think the O-line will make a second year leap. I really do. Because you think about it, Dave, we really had 3 position players play out of position last year. You know what I mean?
True. I'm not gonna.
So I think we'll be okay there. But,
yeah, but
Dave,
losing never shouldn't hurt too.
Oh, of course. That's the other thing too. That's why I want to bring in a linebacker because we don't know Overshawn how he's going to come back with that injury. Because
that's what I'm. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
He is working out on that. There's videos of him working out doing on the
ball. He'll be back week 6 for all we know.
Sure, he could be back week 1, week 6, week 17, whatever it is. But
you don't know.
That's why I went out. I did say linebacker as well. But my thing, Dave, is you said quarterback, right?
Yeah, I did.
Well, hey, listen, our quarterback Cooper Rush is gone. Will
Greer,
Greer,
it's lost him.
He's like a
you trust Will Greer? I don't.
Hell no. Ever since he had one good year at West Virginia, he hasn't seen the field at all. He is a guy that on my team, Dave, if I'm playing, I got my starting 11 out there. I'm playing a fast quarterback from the other team next week. This guy's fast. I'm having him come out there and just be the scout quarterback because he's fast. That's all it is. Yeah. That's the only thing I see in Will Greer. He's not what we want him to be. Dave, what kind of quarterback are you? I know you're not the college guy, Dave, but what are you looking for in a quarterback to draft in this draft somewhere?
It's tough call. You got to have somebody who can run the ball, who can run and throw.
Okay.
If you're going, I hate to say it, but no, I'm not going to say it.
Oh,
Bring him back. Bring him back. Our backup from last year.
This guy?
No, not that guy.
Oh shit! I thought you said Quincy Carter. I was supposed to. My jersey's going to be relevant.
No, we got to go. We got to get somebody who can throw and run. Well,
Dave, a lot of quarterbacks can throw.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to pocket. We had a pocket quarterback with Cooper Rush. You know what I'm saying? He was a pocket back.
Well, the reason why I asked you what kind of quarterback you want, Dave, because my thing is this. You know me, Dave. We always argue. You always call me. I'm going to pick your brain, and you pick my brain every goddamn day, Dave. You know what I mean?
I know I do.
At 11, 12 o'clock, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning, but my thing is I always tell you, I want a backup quarterback to mirror my starting quarterback. Okay. So the reason why I asked that, you have Lamar Jackson and nobody in the NFL has this guy's speed. We know that, Dave, but Dave, how does it make sense when you have Lamar Jackson and your backup is a white guy that can't fucking run at all? His name is, Cooper Rush. Lamar, if they do a 40-yard dash, Lamar Jackson already finished, and Cooper Rush is just standing up on his first stride.
I know.
That to me is a.
Well, not Cooper Rush is but Cooper Rush is a good. He's a very good, but he's a solid backup. And we've seen that with us from time. The last 2 years. Am I wrong?
But I do see it that way, Dave.
Cooper went 5-1 with that when Dak went down.
Okay. But here's the thing. Okay, I do see your point. I'm kind of curious. I never wish injury on any player.
It's totally night and day between Lamar and Cooper. I get that. Yes. I understand that. And it was night and day between Dak and Cooper, if you think about it.
Sure. But here's the thing. I don't wish injury on any player, not even the Eagles player. I don't wish injury on any player in the NFL ever. I don't like that, because these are someone's sons, someone's husbands, boyfriends, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to say.
I got you.
But I'm curious of how this offense would look if Lamar Jackson went down and Cooper Rush comes in. We know he's not throwing the ball. Lamar does throw the ball, but he's not the most accurate QB.
Oh, he could use that. He could be a Zay Flowers kind of. He could be throwing the ball all day.
With wide receivers and a solid offensive line and a solid, running back in Derrick Henry, this team could look a lot different because you're really going to have to do your homework where you're going to see Cooper Rush throw the ball. Because here's the thing, that offensive line for the Ravens, offensive lineman, Dave, when I coach up here,
I mean,
you have a 2-second clock in your head, Dave. 1, 2, quarterback's going to scramble. Okay. With the Ravens, you got to tell your team you have a 4-second clock in your head because 1, 2, a normal got the ball, either checked down, already done. Lamar Jackson holds that ball for 3 to 4 seconds, still running around back there, making plays happen. So it's a little bit different. I'm kind of curious what they would look like if Lamar Jackson went down.
If you think about it, Ravens did have a pocket quarterback for years. If you think about it. Flacco.
Sheldon says, Overshawn will be built different. He would be back like a wild dog. Listen, Dave,
I hope so. I hope so. I love him.
Dave, it's about that time of the show where I got to pat myself on the shoulder. For
here we go again.
During that draft, Dave, who was the only person out there that nobody knew this guy? And I said, Dave, this guy is going to be the steal.
You kept mentioning his name, DeMarvion Overshown. He's the guy.
And who picked that draft, Dave? It was 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, exactly right. Who did that?
You're all over it.
Yeah, that was me. But here's my thing. Here's my thing. I want him to come back. I think he is a dog, Sheldon, but the only problem with that, you look at Tony Pollard, a scat back who jumps on dimes on his cuts. And what is Overshawn built on? Speed. And when you have a horrific injury coming back off that, your speed is not what it is.
It's going to be tough to come back from.
It's going to be hard, but if there's anybody that can do it, this boy from Texas,
it's funny. I keep watching him through PT, and he's doing really well. From what I keep seeing.
I see the videos too. Yeah, I follow him. He's really been doing his rehab, but of course you're going to see the right things, Dave. You know what I mean? You're not going to put out some.
Sure, they're not going to show you the bad things.
There's a setback. But it'll tell you in the draft.
But he's so positive right now, and he knows his positive is great. I love it.
Now, Dave, here's a rebuttal against you, real quick. You ready for this one?
What's that?
This is Attack Dave. It's Attack Dave night.
It's Attack Dave night.
Thank God, man. I'm tired of getting my ass chewed out all the time.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Michael says, Miles Sanders, 2 years in Carolina, 637 yards and 7 TDs. Is he going to make a difference, Dave?
Depends on the O-line.
And how he's used. Well, he's going to be.
Hey, if you go back and look at his numbers with the Eagles, how good he was.
A lot better than when he was.
Not better than Carolina, but he got Eagles offensive line, Carolina's offensive line. Come on, man.
Do you value a backup quarterback over a CB? Here's the thing. I do, yes, because you don't even really have a QB2 right now, other than Dak Prescott. The thing is, you have Diggs on a big contract for the next 3 years. You have Bland coming up on a 2 years. He's getting paid next year if he balls out.
Hopefully.
Both coming off injuries. But my thing is, I think they're 1-2 on most teams that don't have. So I got to stay with Diggs and Bland on the outside. If a corner is there late, I have a corner going in the 7th round here. I got my 6th round. I do have a corner being drafted. That's where I go there. But to me, I got to build other positions where if we're going to bank on Overshawn, we got to bank on Bland. We got to bank on Diggs coming back too. You know what I mean? That's my thing.
But see with Diggs, I don't know if he's going to be here or not.
Well, hell, we don't even know who's going to come back, Dave. Look at Bland.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. I mean, Diggs coming off that injury. I don't know. Can we trust that?
But here's the thing, Dave. This year's draft, you're not going to make the playoffs next year the way it looks right now. If these players don't come back, you're not going to be in the playoffs next year. We know that. Okay. So my thing is, you know what? Go out, bank on your players, not tank, Dave. I use the word tank. No, I'm not saying tank. Play your heart out. Go there, and whatever you fall, go out and build the team for next year. But bank on your players because you're not getting rid of Diggs. You're not getting rid of Bland. You got to build on these players that's coming off injury. You know what I mean? We've done that, Dave. I mean, look how Jerry is. A player go back to the fucking Michael Gallup days, Dave. He had an ACL injury, came back next year, and the goddamn guy got paid and fucking left us, goes to the Raiders.
Can't get a job.
And Dallas is still paying him $7 million for a year that he didn't even play, Dave.
And he's still looking to play at teams and nobody signed him. So.
Nobody signed him. Who would have wanted him? Number one, morale in the locker room. Guy quits on his team just for the money and wants to come back a year later. What your $1 million house? You can't pay your taxes now, so you got to come back for a job? No, carry on, Here, exactly. No Lance. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about this.
I was going to say, but I think that's the thing. I mean, if you're keeping Lance, it's $22 million on the books.
Well, see, here's the thing. We own the rights to him, okay? We do own the rights to Trey Lance.
And we do.
We own him on a 5th-year option, okay? If some team takes him on a trade, say if we get a 5th round, 6th round, I'm cool with that. Let him walk. But if Dallas signs him, Dallas is the only team on the books that have to pay him $22 million, Dave, because it's your option. A team that takes him, they don't pay him nothing. All they do is this, hey, we'll give you Amari Cooper deal. We'll give you a 5th round baggage, trade and a bag of stale chips. We own the rights to him, which sucks.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but I mean,
and Dave, he's not worth $22 million, Dave, for a guy.
No,
that
he's not. I
I
agree.
Yep. Trey Lance, 100%. You see,
I mean, what did the Niners? Was a 4th round pick with him? Is that what it was?
I believe it was a 5th round pick. We got our 5th round. Remember, I joked around, said we got our 5th round pack.
That's right, 5th. Okay, you're right.
But I mean, coming out of what was it? North Dakota State when he played in college. There, he was good. I mean, they considered him like a Carson Wentz type prodigy guy. That low school, D3 school coming out, great arm. But they gave up 3 first rounders to move up to get Trey Lance, Dave, and he got hurt.
Yeah, they did.
I just can't take him. I can't even have him as a backup. Lance can't throw exactly. Replace Diggs this draft. I don't want to go top 4 because the fact that to me it's a 1, 2, 3 draft. I love what's his name? Eddie, help me out here. The guy from Michigan. What's his name? Will something out of Michigan. The corner. I like him as well. I'll take him, but I can't go that high, Dave.
Hey, Will Johnson.
Will Johnson, thank you, Dave. There you go, Dave. You're the man tonight, brother.
Lucky guess.
You are the freaking man, Dave. You're the freaking man. Yep.
Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a guy out there that's going to be like him, so I'm not going to take him. But I'm going to go quarterback, Dave. There's a guy that I don't like, but I think he's okay for this team. Eddie's probably going to fucking yell at me on this one. I'm probably going to hear Eddie after all this is said and done. But I'm going to go quarterback, 6-year quarterback, started out at UCF, went to Oklahoma, went to Oregon, led the NCAA in pass, not led the league in passing, but I'm going to go Dylan Gabriel, left-handed quarterback.
Okay.
He's not a starter. He's never going to be a starter, but I think he is a solid guy.
Solid backup for Dak.
Kind of fits the system for us, Dave. Even the only downfall to me is one thing. He's left-handed. He's left-handed.
I was going to say, what's he left-handed? That's why.
He's left-handed.
Okay. Boomer was left-handed.
Michael says Derek Henry saves Cooper. I agree with that one too. A good running game, you got that guy, but I think it's a little bit different because Cooper Rush can sling the ball when he has time. When he's with time with Dallas, which is not very often, he could pick you apart. But when you're under distress in 1 second, it's a different.
I heard today Javonte Williams is a very good blocker. So.
Mm-hmm. Will Johnson, thank you. As Dave said, thank you very much, Eddie. Appreciate that. Michael says, what about Stephon Diggs opposite? Now, I did hear rumors about that, Dave. Let's talk about that real quick. What do you think? Stephon Diggs coming.
I heard.
You have money. You have money.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. But
no, I think
if
any receiver the Cowboys are going to get, I think Tyler Lockett would be a guy.
Listen, I wanted Cooper Kupp in the slot, man.
I think Tyler Lockett could be actually coming to Dallas. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Sheldon says the train experiment is over.
I mean, I know it's not the greatest.
No,
I mean, yeah.
Shelton, thank you for bringing this guy up. I did have him in here. I didn't want to talk about it, but I do think this is the guy that
James Winston? I don't know about that.
Here's the thing. I do like this because I think he ends up in New York with the Giants. I really think he goes to the Giants here. But hear me out, Dave. Jameis Winston, he's a guy that doesn't give an F out there. He doesn't give a fuck. I'll just say it. Okay. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But here's the thing. The guy has a deep ball like no other quarterback. He takes chances.
He does.
He's smart ever since he stole the crabs down in Florida State. He's become a different quarterback. He's a journeyman, and he is a guy that is fun to be around. He's a team guy.
Yeah, his interception pass ratio is not very good.
But it wasn't that bad last year, Dave, when he came in for Cleveland. He showed glimps and glamours. Dave. Okay?
I mean, with that with the Saints, though, he wasn't that?
But the Saints, they don't have Michael Thomas out there. They don't have Kamara, Alvin Kamara anymore. They don't have the weapons that Drew Brees had. And I'm not comparing him to Drew Brees, Dave.
Don't do that. No.
And I'm not 100%. I'm not saying that. Shelton says I like Gabriel. I do like that. I'm not taking him first 5 rounds. I think he drops 6 to 7. I think, hey, you know what? You go out and get QB2, or you know what? Say if you go out and get a Winston on the cheap, you bring Dylan Gabriel and still you just let him sit on the practice squad, make him be that 54th guy that dresses but doesn't play unless there's an injury. That's my thing. Eddie says Diggs to the Pats. I think so. That's where I think he goes. I think they do go there.
Maybe
they do need a lot more. They do need some good weapons out there as well.
I mean, would I like a Stephon Diggs? Sure. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Michael's actually mentioned this guy. We chatted a couple times on the phone here. He says, "What about Brady Cook?" As I told you, he's an okay guy, good arm, good poise. But my thing is, he's not built for the NFL. You know, his thing coming out of Missouri there, he's not. I think his record was, I think it was like 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Holds onto the ball really good IQ. But I don't think it'll progress into the NFL. I don't have him even listed probably top. I want to say maybe 10. He's a project player. That's my thing. I just don't. I can't. I'm actually hopping on a show. I think in another 7 days. A friend of mine, this big thing. He's doing a all college show talking about things, and we're talking quarterbacks. So I'm going to hop on his show. I'm going to relay that question as well and see how they feel, because everybody sent a list in, and there was only 2 people out of these 7 people actually had his name out on the list to talk about. So I'm probably going to throw his name in there just to see what other people think about, what the pros and cons. Eddie says no to Tyler Huntley. See, I would be okay with someone like that, because I want a quarterback that's similar to Dak Prescott. And I'm not talking, don't fucking anybody out there say, well, yeah, he's dark skinned. It's not about that fucking bullshit. It's about a guy that mirrors the quarterback to their similarities. They can throw the ball, they can run the ball, that can scramble. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want a quarterback that, I can't run. The quarterback comes in, can run. I just don't like that. Eddie says Mizzou quarterbacks suck. Okay, well, damn, Eddie just fucking said it.
Okay, Eddie.
Hey, Carson Wentz is available. No.
He is out there.
He is out there, but no, I can't. I'd rather take Winston. But then again, you're not going to pay a backup quarterback. What was Cooper Rush's deal? 2 years, what, $12 million?
2 years. I think it was
12 million or something. 10,
10,
5 or 6 per year. I'm not going to pay a quarterback more than $5 million a year, because
I was thinking about this today too. Cooper Rush, every time he gets a deal, it's always 2 years. He never gets 1 year.
Well, I mean, that's what you get. I mean, you get a 2-year backup because you don't want, to build something and just say, okay, 1 year, I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
yeah,
I told you that writing was on the wall ever since Jerry Jones, took the bonus away in week 17.
Exactly. I was talking to Rob this afternoon about it. He was like, once he didn't play that last game, it was over.
You knew it. If I'm walking to the locker room or the Jerry's office and say, hey, we want to bring you back on a 2-year, $10 million deal.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him saying, are you going to include my $1 million bonus for the last game of the season that you pulled me out of it and let me play?
I think it was $250, wasn't it?
Well, the hell, I don't give a damn if it's 2 cents. That's bullshit to me.
I'm just saying it was I think it was $250.
I earned that money. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I did what I could with the team that you put on the field for me. So I did my job. Do your job and pay me my fucking bonus.
He did do his job.
Eddie says Winston is the only proven QB. I agree with that one too. I kind of like that one. Shelton says, I know he's not the same player, but he's productive, even if we get a drafted wide receiver. Here's your guy, Amari Cooper. Great for a vet, good young guy.
I can't see him coming. He won't come back to the Cowboys.
But okay, here's the thing:
there's blood in the water between those two.
Well, between who? Him and Jerry?
Yep.
Here's the thing:
yep.
Amari Cooper's still going to demand between $20 to $25 million a year.
Well, him and Dak, they weren't on the same page either. So
here's the thing: I would listen. If we can put away the bad blood and all that bullshit, because I hate that with the Cowboys, my thing is I would take him in a heartbeat. But to me, I think he would be solid, because Amari Cooper, man, is that big physical guy that can demand his
and I hear you. That's why Dante Fowler came back, because he's never burned his bridge with the Cowboys. I mean, you burn your bridge with Dallas, that change, you're not coming back.
No, I get that, Dave, but I mean, I liked Amari Cooper because he's a guy that's.
I liked Amari too. I thought him and Dak were a great pair at one point.
Third and 9. This guy goes to the 9-yard mark, puts his foot down, high points the ball, physically brings it down, and he holds the ball first down, move the sticks. He is that type of guy. He's a physical guy, big body, still has the speed.
Like I said, I think Tyler Lockett could do the same thing. You're not missing anything.
Yeah, but Dave, he's a slot guy. I mean, you need that outside guy, Dave, because you already have Turpin in the middle. Flournoy is not an outside guy. Tolbert's not going to be an outside guy. So you got to get an outside guy. That's why I thought Cooper Kupp on maybe the outside, move him in the slot too as a mismatch would be great. But I don't even know, Dave.
He wanted way too much.
I don't even know. Now, Dave,
I want to ask you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, Dave, I want to ask you real quick. I'm going to throw a curveball at you real quick, and everybody check in. Let me know what you would do. Now, I'm on the clock here. Of course, I'm just going to go through the top 12 real quick. I'm not going to say who's picking who. Titans 1, Browns 2, Giants 3, Patriots 4, Jaguars 5, Raiders 6, Jets 7, Panthers 8, 9 Saints, 10 Bears, 11 Niners, 12 Cowboys, 12 Dolphins, 14 Falcons, 15 Cardinals. Dave, you know what? I just got promoted to be the new GM scouting developer for the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. We are at we're at what?
What number yet?
I'm at 15, Dave.
Okay, I went to 12. I didn't get that far.
I'm at 15 now. I'm the new GM for the
I went 1 to 12. I didn't get to 15.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I'm at 15. I'm the Arizona Cardinals. You know, I'm sitting there and I'm on the clock and I'm looking. I'm not on the clock yet, but I'm seeing the Bears pick. They pick. The Niners are about to pick. Bears got about 7 minutes to go before the Niners go on the clock. Dave, here's what I'm doing. I'm picking up my phone. And I'm saying, let me call that son of a bitch, Dave, who says, why not? That guy says, why not to everything. I'm going to call him and say, hey, Dave, little brother, how you been, man? Talk to me, Dave. Talk to me here. Hey,
I'm
Dave,
good. How are you?
Hey, listen, man. You know, hey, I'm sitting here at 15, brother. You guys are picking right behind the Niners here. What are you looking at, Dave? What are you guys looking at? You guys looking to move up, move down, looking up, move one, move back a little bit? What are you guys thinking about doing here?
We're going wide receiver. That's what we're thinking.
Well, Dave, man, here's the thing, man. There's no wide receiver on the board, brother. I mean, McMillan's gone, so you really don't want Luther Burden. You don't want Golden. You don't want Mbuka. You don't want these guys, Dave. Dave, let me talk to you for a second, man. I'm sitting here at 15. How about we swap picks and I give you a second round next year and a second round the following year? Oh, Dave, I'm only moving up 3 spots, man. You're moving to 15. I'll give you a 2 and a 2. What do you think? Come on, Dave. We go way back, brother. You're like a little brother to me, man.
I know. You're giving me a 2 and a 2?
I'm giving you this. I'll give you. Listen, we're swapping picks. You give me your 12. I'll give you my 15. I'll give you my 2 next year, regardless of where it'll be. I'll give you that. It's not going to be restricted. I'm giving you that, and I'll give you my following 2 the next year, Dave. What are you doing? Talk to me, Dave. Talk to me, because
I wouldn't even know where to go with it, to be honest with you.
Okay, would you move back?
Would I move back?
Would you move back, and how far would you move back?
No, I wouldn't. I'd stay where I am.
You're staying at 12. Not even if I give you a first round pick next year.
Nope. Okay.
How far? Let's flip it then.
I like where I am right now. I'm good.
You're staying at 12 no matter what, huh?
Yep. No matter what. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, maybe it's a bad deal. I'm not sure about that, but that's right. I'd stay at 12. It's just me.
Dave, you're a hard guy to deal with, because if somebody calls me at 15 saying, hey, I only want to move up to 12 and we'll swap picks 12, 15, and I'll give you a 2 and a 2. My words are, I'm going to play the full house situation, the bluff here. I'm going to say,
I mean, I'm not, like I said, I don't know how many would agree with me with that. I mean, that's just what I would do. I mean,
here's my thing.
Dog me if you want, knock me down. I don't care. I'm staying at 12.
All right, here's my thing. I would play the little, the victim here and say, like, oh man, I really got my eye on this guy. At 12, I think he's going to be there for me. I think, the Dolphins, the Falcons could take this guy. This is my guy. I know you're giving me a 2. You're giving me a 2 next year. We're only moving down 3 spots. But how about you throw in maybe a
3 spots is a lot if you think about it.
I mean, listen, you got a lot of holes to fill. You look at your war board, who's there. I would play it like this, like, hey, listen, hey, Paul, how about this? A second, that's totally fine. I'm okay with that. But man, we're in the same boat here, brother. We didn't make the playoffs. You didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
You got the Rams in your division. The Seahawks are rebuilding. You guys have a chance to be something next year. We don't. I'm in a 3-year window with this team, being a new head coach. So how about you throw in another 3 the following year? I would do something like that, Dave.
Oh, if you give me another, you didn't say that.
Well, you didn't ask, man. You didn't negotiate the deal, Dave.
I didn't negotiate because you didn't give me. If you would have given me 3, I would have thought about it.
All you did to me, Dave, is like, Paul, hang up. That's all you did to me, brother. You
I'm
didn't
not listening.
You didn't even give me a chance. You didn't give me a chance.
No.
Sheldon says for 2 2s, hell yeah, I would do the same thing. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
And you can still get your wide receiver. See, this is what I mean. You stockpile drafts, because then again, Cam Scatterby might be available.
Yeah, but you don't know if that draft's going to be. I mean, you don't know. It could be a bust for all you know. I mean,
no, I don't think these guys are going to be a bust.
The pick at 12 could be a bust for me. I don't know that.
Well, hell, you look at the quarterbacks in the past. A lot of number 1, 2, and 3s are busts. We get that.
You give me another Ryan Leaf for all I know. I mean, come on.
Oh God, that's a jersey I do not have.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. You can get your wide receiver in the 2nd and 3rd draft alone in your first. I agree 100%. That's what I like to do. I like to stockpile picks and build from there. With all the Cowboys' needs, that trade helps out the Cowboys a lot. With all the Cowboys' needs, that trade helps out the Cowboys a lot. Yes,
sure.
Agree. I mean, you plug and play guys in the second round. You only drop 3 spots down. You get an extra second round pick, and their pick is going to be
maybe if it was a spot or two, maybe.
Well, you think about it, Dave. With that pick there, you move from 12 to 15. You still have your 44 pick, and you actually gained 3 spots down.
Well, I still have my 44 and my 76 pick, so okay.
Well, if that happens, then you still gained a 47th pick, Dave, that they're giving you for this year or next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give you the second round pick this year. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
No.
You know? We'll see. If they did, that would be a perfect example of okay, I just pulled a Howie Roseman. I fleeced you finally. You know what I mean? So
nope.
All right. So you're thinking we stay. You think we don't take any moves at all?
Stay at 12,
right? Okay.
Yep. I mean, if Jerry if he were to go down, it wouldn't surprise me. But
okay, Dave. Last thing before we get out of here, I do want to ask
what pick did we have last year?
Shit, I don't even remember what the hell we had last year.
I was going to say, where were we last year?
I forgot where the hell.
19 or something? 20?
I think it was it like 20, 21?
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Because we were.
Because if you remember,
Dave, we were a lot higher than that because we were what?
Because we traded that pick, if I recall.
I forgot where the hell it was. All right, let me ask you this, Dave.
We picked up the offensive lineman.
Yeah, Tyler Guyton.
Tyler Guyton. Yep. Here we thought it was going to be a good deal.
Tyler Guyton, dude.
Tyler Guyton. All right, what are you saying?
For the last 3 weeks, I've been positive until you bring up these players that are like pissing me off, Dave. Tyler Guyton. Oh God.
I'm just saying that was our first pick last year.
See, now I just lost my train of thought, Dave. Okay, here it is.
You said something to tell me about.
Before we get out of here, here's my question to you, Dave.
Okay.
Sitting at number 12, you're not giving up your pick. You're not moving up. You're not moving down, right?
Nope.
What one position is going to make you lose your fucking mind if we draft?
Lose my mind?
Yep. You're going to pull a Paul on a live draft and slam your hand down on the table and shatter the glass on your table.
Wow.
What one
kicker
guy? No. Let's be realistic, Dave. Let's be realistic. We have Aubrey and we have Anger. They're not, and we have our long snapper.
We're good with that. Yeah.
Be realistic though. What position? Quarterback, running back, or not running back, because running back is something we need. Okay, wide receiver is something we need. O-line is something we need. What defensive player, not the defensive end, what player would you be like, what the hell are they doing? What position?
Tough call, Paul. I don't know.
Okay.
Something we don't need?
Well, it's up to you. You're the GM. I put you in that spot. I'll give you mine. Safety.
Okay. We don't need a safety.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shelton says you're right. We do need everything. 100%.
We don't need a tight. Well, I don't think we don't need a tight end.
Starting with the owner, that's our first option right there. If we
I would say we don't need a tight end.
If any team out there wants to trade us our first 7 picks every round plus this year and next year for Jerry Jones to take over Jerry Jones and you can have all of our picks, I'll take it.
I would say tight end would be mine.
Oh, there is a tight end that I would take if he's there.
Fergie's pretty good. We have let's call from Michigan, which I really like.
Oh, my boy Schoonmaker.
Schoons. Yeah, that's good. I do.
Listen, I'll take Tyler Warren. If you give me Tyler Warren,
I wouldn't mind Tyler Warren either, but he ain't falling to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With all the Cowboys needs, we already read that. This is a rebuttal here. With all the Cowboys needs, that trade helps out the Cowboys. Shelton says, Mike, it might be because you're Eagles fan, but I keep reading your comments real condescending with the laughing there. Got a little banner back. 2 questions for the both of you. Would you draft an offensive lineman or D-tackle in the first round built from inside out? Yes, I do have a defense. I'm not a tackle. I have a defensive end because we have Odigizua coming back. That's a solid piece for me right there. I do draft a defensive end opposite of Parsons because we did lose to Marcus Lawrence. And I do have an offensive lineman. I would probably go, I don't want to go second round. I would probably go best available, maybe third if my wide receivers aren't there, or 4th round best available, because I do have needs at running back, defensive end, and I do have a need for all wide receiver as well. So
if McMillan's not there, I'm going offensive line first round.
Yeah, I'm not going to go offensive line first round.
That's just me.
Because we have too much money in rookies.
Anything on the line, I'm good with.
Anything on the line. Okay.
On the offensive line or defensive line, I'm okay with either way.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, guys, before we get out of here, of course, it is Thursday. What is today, Dave? What is tonight? Wednesday night already?
Today is Wednesday.
That's right. It's prime time, 9:30. And of course, you're already watching the Cowboys Weekly, 9:30 with myself and Dave every Wednesday night talking Dallas Cowboys. Tomorrow night, we've got a great show. Dan and I are going to be talking about the NFL Weekly Talk. We are going to go to one of the best divisions out there, the NFC North tomorrow. We'll talk about
Ooh.
that. Yep. And then Friday, Ken will be back on Silver and Black Raiders Nation. And of course, Friday night, Inside the Octagon, myself and Josh will be talking about everything UFC. And Dave, you guys will be on Saturday night at 9 p.m. What's this about? What is this? What is this, like a
The
bomb drop? What
atomic
is this?
drop is WWE wrestling. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
There we go. Got a lot to talk about there. So make sure you tune in to all of our shows out there on Alabama Sports Entertainment. All sponsors, stream sponsored by Jason 123. And new shows coming, Just the Facts, Indie Wrestling, Big Blue Power Hour will be coming back. Commander's Gridiron will be back in 2 weeks. Golden Dome, I talk about Notre Dame. It's going to be there. And of course, if any viewer out there that wants to hop on with us, let us know. We're going to have about 10 people on the NFL live show that we do every year. It's a lot of fun. It's a long show. It's probably about 3.5 hours long. Yeah. You don't have to be on for the whole thing, but reach out to one of us, me on Messenger, Twitter, wherever. If you want to be on the show, we'll get you on there because it's nothing but fun. We go through 1 through 32. We have fun doing the show. It's a lot of
a long 3 hours.
Yeah, but the best thing about it, Dave, is when there's always that guy that's picked in the draft, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Like, we all look at each other with no words spoken, and it's just the reactions of the face, like they took Shiloh Sanders at 2, something like that. I mean,
never know.
But yes, exactly. So make sure you check into us. See one of the comments here. Michael says, "Do you think once Steven takes over, we will hire a GM?" No, because Jerry's never going to fucking die. He has so much money that he's going to clone himself, and he's going to be.
He's only 82, right? But he's not going anywhere.
He's going to be the first son of a bitch to buy a drug out there to keep him alive till he's 150. You know what I mean? That's him. Yep. And you know what? This lady right here, man, Stacy Northrup.
It's so funny when hey, Stace, thanks for checking in. It's so funny how this team is. I mean, Jerry's saying one thing, Steven's saying another. It's just,
Yeah, well, one idiot, one versus another. You know what I mean? That's all I can say, Dave. But
that's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Stace?
You can check out Stacy when the show comes back, Big Blue Power Hour. Stacy, I've known since
forever.
Japan days. And Stacy is one of the people that I can honestly say, Stacy knows me of how I was back in Japan, and she actually followed me to the States because our dads was in the Marine Corps, So Stacy knows the real me of.
Stacy loves her Giants. I know that much.
If you ever want to know why I say I was kicked out of a country, you can always ask Stacy because Stacy was there basically, kind of watched it happen, which kind of pissed me off. You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better now. So, Dave, as we always do, man, I've been positive for 4 weeks, Dave. I cannot believe.
It's a plus. I love it.
It's been 4 weeks since I've been positive. So you know what? I'm going to carry it on, Dave. How about you give me final thoughts well, you know what, Dave, before we do that, I mean, what do we talk about next week? We've talked about players. We talk about coaches. We've talked about free agent moves, trade moves. We've talked about draft picks. What do we do next week? Because we have about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the draft. What do we do?
3 weeks before draft?
What do we do next week? What do we do?
It's a good question. Talk about the draft if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
You know what? How about we open it up, Dave? And how about we talk about what even though the schedule's not out, Dave, the schedule is out, but we don't know who we're playing, when we're playing. Okay.
Yeah. I don't go that far.
I'm not going to give a prediction of a record wise. We don't do that until after preseason. We can
talk about the teams that we are playing.
That's a good thing. How about we do that, Dave? How about next week we talk
away
about
games?
Well, no, you know what? Because I don't like to get into that because we don't know what they're going to draft. We don't know who they're releasing until that point. But how about next week, Dave? We open it up. Maybe we open it up next week, and how about we talk about memories of the Dallas Cowboys? Let's just have a good show.
Memories.
How about we? Because Dave,
that we're talking.
Okay, Dave, I don't want to hear Jalen Tolbert caught one ball. Last year. I don't want to hear this shit. Okay, I want to give you memories like something that stands out in your mind. We'll do maybe like a half-hour show next week because we want to keep it going.
Can I put an example out there for that?
You know what? Go ahead and give me an example because you love the king of the example. Go ahead.
Michael Irvin's catching the end zone against the Bills.
Okay. See, there you go. The one for me, honestly, is the Jason Witten without the helmet. That to me was
Oh,
something
against the
that,
Eagles.
yes, I have his poster on my wall here.
Actually, it's funny you should say that. If you go into the Star,
Mhm,
there's we're down in Dallas, we got a big Star.
mhm,
But you go and walk in there where they do press conferences and stuff like that. There's a huge, huge poster. Not even a
mhm,
poster; it's a frame. It's hanging of Jason Witten of that play.
mhm. Michael says Hollywood Henderson. Whew, oh, great
Hollywood
memories.
Henderson.
Wow.
Wow.
Michael says, good show, fellas. Appreciate you, Michael. Thanks for, hopping in. We
Michael, thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much. Appreciate it. It
And
means a lot.
Stacy says, I love you, Spencer. I love you too, Stace. Like she's like my sister that I've known for God, man. I'm not even going to say how long, but I think it was 86 when I first
Good
met
old
you, Stacy.
Stacy.
I met Stacy in 1986. God, oh my
Mhm.
God, 1986. Whew, man. Then I get kicked out of Japan, Dave, and
Like
I go back to
I was in sixth grade in '86.
Jesus Christ. I was in eighth grade actually, and then I went back to California. And then my mom was a manager at the Hostess House, the hotel there. And I remember my mom saying, "Paul, do you know this girl named Stacy?" I'm like, "Stacy? I don't know. I know the name, or who is it?" Next thing I know, I see Stacy. I'm like, "Oh my fucking God, you kidding me?" From Japan to California, we went to the same schools back to back. So yeah, it's crazy. It's great. My best memory, Dave, is Dwight Clark catching the TD. Oh, thank you, thank
Oh,
you, man.
thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
That just brings back the best
I
memory
went
ever.
I went from positivity down to Dave. Let's do final thoughts and get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Oh God.
Of course, Dwight Clark.
Sheldon says, "Be safe, guys." Hey, Sheldon, appreciate you hopping on, brother.
Yeah, Sheldon, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in, man. Means a lot.
Good talking to you again, man. Appreciate you. Hope you and your family's doing well.
Yeah,
Man.
that
Appreciate
Dwight Clark just spins in my head.
Yeah, he was 17 and 86. Yeah, Michael, you know what? I think I was 86, 419. I think I was either 15. I think I was 14 or 15, honestly. Yeah, 14 or 15. Yep. All right, Dave.
'86, I was 12.
Give me those final thoughts, Dave. What's those final thoughts for you, man?
Final thoughts. Tonight's show. Okay, like I said, I'm not the college guru that Paul is, so I'll be the first to tell you that I can. I'll give you names that I like. I don't know everybody. I like college football, but I don't follow it as good as Paul does. So I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, good time tonight. It was fun. Can't wait for the draft in 3 weeks. Looking forward to that. Next week's going to be fun. Memories. I could do that all day. I love memories. I'm a memory guy. Paul will tell you that. I remember stupid things that happened 20 years ago. Anyway, hang in there, Cowboy Nation, because the Micah signing is going to happen. It's coming fast. It's on its way. It's on its way. I can say right now because they're in pursuit of doing it right now, which is very exciting. I can't wait to have that. And Cooper Rush, good luck in Baltimore. We're going to miss you. Sorry that you had to leave us. I didn't. I thought he was a solid backup for us. I know Paul wasn't much of a Cooper Rush guy, but I kind of was. I liked him. Like I said, his best did Minnesota. That game, I'll never forget that. That gets injured. He went to Minnesota and tore him up. I loved it. So good luck in Baltimore. Other than that, enjoy your week, guys. I had fun.
Yeah, my final thoughts are I was trying to stay positive here. Stacey says she was 15, of course. That's showing our age,
15?
of course, now.
Is that what
yeah.
I thought it was 15?
Yeah, Stacey was 15 at the point. Yeah, we were young. We were young kids back in there, Oh my God,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. But my final thoughts are, hey, we still have 3 weeks for the draft here. Let's still go out because what I want to do is I want to build this team to, we don't have, as I always told Dave, we don't have the big names out there this year, but to build a 53-man roster's chemistry, scheme, and we still don't know what to believe in with the Schottenheimer system, the Matt Eberflus system. We don't know what it is. So let's just, stay positive. Dave said, go into the season here, go into the draft, go into OTAs, go into the preseason, and let's just build from it because God, man, 7-10, you can't really get any worse than that. You know what I mean? You've already had one leg in the coffin, unless, we shit the bed and have 2 feet in the coffin. But as long as our nose is still out breathing, we'll be okay. But yeah, Dave, I want to say thank you. I know you don't watch a lot of college football, but now you're starting to get into it because, I'm telling you, watch this game, Dave, and I'll text you and you're watching. Yeah, I'm watching this too. There you go. I appreciate that.
I'll watch it.
Yep. So, other than that, Dave, I appreciate you hopping on. And next week, I can't wait.
Real quick, welcome back, Dante Fowler. Welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah, little discount guy.
Hey, never burn your bridges with the Cowboys, and Dante Fowler did not do that. So welcome back, and he will fit our scheme very well. So I'm excited.
Yeah, well, now go out and get me Kyle Kendricks. Bring him back too.
You know what? I wouldn't mind Kendricks coming back. I'd be okay with that.
I think you should. Nobody's picked him up. He's going to be on a discount deal, so why not? You know what I mean?
Hey, we've been doing bargain basement the whole time, so what does it matter now?
Hey, that's Jerry Jones. Go out and spend $1. You have $10. Go out and spend that $1. That's all he's doing.
We still have 45 under the cap too. So
yeah, well, 45,
44. I think it's 44.
Well, if you have 40, Dave, you could have gone on and give me a couple wide receivers out there. You know what I mean?
Like I said, if you sign Micah, you'll still have money left over.
Yeah, but Jerry, just do the contract right. Back in the contract, give him guaranteed money to make it come off the books early. You know what I mean? And don't give him a damn Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb deal. Don't do it, please. Learn your lesson, man. Learn your lesson, and don't let it bite you in the ass, man. Please. That's all I'm going to
say. We've been bitten too many times.
Yeah, still paying for some of them too, Dave.
And we are. Yeah.
But yeah, Dave, I can't wait till next week. The memories, man. You're the man of the memories. I'm getting old, Dave. I probably won't be able to remember what the hell we're talking about.
There's one memory that really sticks in my head, but I'll save it for next week.
All right. So Dave,
if I remember it.
You'll remember everything. You'll fucking call me at 1:00 in the morning and say, Paul, let me tell you what we're going to talk about next week. That's you, Dave. I'm trying to sleep. You don't sleep.
I want to thank our viewers tonight too, Eddie, and everybody else. Thank you so much for chiming in. It means the world to us that you guys are watching us all. Watching the show.
And our next show tomorrow morning will be the Silver and Black Raiders Nation with Cam Fry. Make sure you check that out. I'm sorry, it's Thursday. That'll be myself again. Me. It was NFL Weekly Talk with me and Dan talking NFC North tomorrow night. So make sure you check out that, guys, as well. And also, guys, please just make sure you do me a favor, guys. Support the channel. Hit the heart button, like button on Facebook. Smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Share. Tell a friend on Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. We appreciate it. Listen, we don't get paid to do this stuff. It's just hosts talking to each other and listening to the viewers, commenting back and forth, regardless of what team you like. It's all fun. So we appreciate everybody out there. Share, tell a friend, and carry on the good word. We appreciate everybody out there. So, Dave, it's Thursday night. It's prime time. Prime time is over. I'm tired. I think we should get out of here, Dave. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. I'm down on that.
Well, you know what? My name is Paul Spencer. That is showstopper Dave Yarnell, my little brother. Dave, take us out of here, man.
Real quick, check out Paul and Dan tomorrow night. It's a really good show. NFL show. You'll get a lot out of it. You get a lot out of it. You really will. And our wrestling show, 9:00. Don't forget about them too. Anyway, thank you for joining the show. And like I always say, go boys, go.
See you next Wednesday night, 9:30 prime time. My name is Paul. That is Dave.